Hello, my name is Adam Hems, and in this video we're going to do a first dive review of a new dry suit that I purchased for one of my hobbies, which is scuba diving. This dry suit is a waterproof brand, and it is called a D3 Ergo. I have a unboxing video of me unboxing that suit when I got it earlier this month. A link in the comments of the video. In this video, we're going to do a test drive of it. So without further ado, here I am at Mammoth Lake, Texas, just a couple of days ago in early February. You can see me wearing the suit and walking to the shore of the lake, Lake Mammoth this is, in Clute, South Texas. Near Freeport. See my buddy Matt, who's already also in a dry suit, getting ready to jump in the water there. And so I had just put on my suit at this point. You can see it's there. And I had on underneath this suit for this dive exactly what I said I was going to in the unboxing review. I jumped in, I was a little anxious. I was worried, will I float? Will I sink? Will I have enough weight? I had 26 pounds of weight in the end. The weather was quite cool. It was the surface, so the air temperature was around 48, I think. This was in the morning, around 10 a.m. or so. The lake opened at 8. There goes Matt jumping in behind me. And then we swam to one of the points of interest, an aircraft, a transport style aircraft that's sunk at around 38 feet or so. Maximum depth at this dive was 38 feet. You can see me trying to release the air from the dump valve on my suit right there, trying to figure out how to get down. Realized I had some air in my BC. Worried would I have enough weight, but I did. It was just fine once I figured it out. It's been a little while since I've had a dry suit, so this was a good practice for me. I needed to remember what it felt like to have a dry suit again. The water temperature was around 57 degrees, and there we are at the bottom. You can see. Just exploring. Visibility not great, but typical for this lake in the winter. And that's the top of the aircraft. There's an open part here. Wasn't sure what part of the aircraft I had landed in here. There's my buddy taking a look, seeing if we can see what's down there. This is a cutaway, and ended up, as you'll see in a moment, this is actually the cockpit of the aircraft. Cut open so we can go inside, so I climbed in. A little fumbling around with my GoPro there. I had to get used to adjusting my buoyancy on the suit, and with my arm as well as holding the GoPro in my right hand and my flashlight in the left. There's a surprise pilot parked in the pilot's seat. Meant to scare unwary divers who might see this for the first time. I think it's quite funny. You can see them when you come in, or when you look through the window, which we'll do in a little bit when we come out. The window on the top, the left there, that window, that's open so you can sort of peer in. There's where the instruments would have been originally at some point, I'm sure. There's another window that's open so you can peer through it. You see there's a lot of dust and dirt in the water. Much of it I've just kicked up, honestly, by getting in there. But I was very confident to climb about inside this wreck in this dry suit. It felt absolutely great. It was really, really good. Even though, like I say, the water was 57, and I checked my computer at one point to, and I think I have some video of that to confirm. I was not cold. Wearing underneath this suit, I had wearing my lava core full piece sort of suit, whole thing, top and bottom in a one piece, front zip, which is equivalent almost to a 3mm really neoprene, except it isn't neoprene, which is why I went for it, because it's very warm when it's dry and warm when it's wet. So that's why I thought I'd try this under the suit to see how it felt. There I am, just climbing out of the top of the aircraft there and looking back towards the tail at this point. Swimming along, correction, we actually went towards the front. This is towards the nose, and there is one of the open windows. And somebody's fin was mysteriously stuck in that I hadn't seen before, so I grabbed it and pushed that free. Normally fins like this one float, so hopefully that one floated to the surface and perhaps the owner found it. Don't know how that got in there, but in any event, luckily the owner of the fin wasn't there, but that was quite weird. Anyway, you can just see the skeleton still sat in his pilot seat through the open window right there. A lot of dirt in the water, again, most of it kicked up by me clambering around on the frame of the aircraft here. The nose is open to look at. Didn't stop to look, I don't think, but we sort of carried on at this point around to the side, and you'll see in a minute we explore a little bit further along. They explore the wings and then back out the top, go into the cargo a little bit. Go along the top, go inside a little bit. Oh, there we go. So it's 30 feet or so deep at that point. The computer recorded a maximum depth of 38 feet. So there I am peering in the other side of the window there. Very kicked up inside because of all of the dirt that was lying on the wreck, you can see. Mostly from rain, I expect, fallen over the years. The lake has been there since like 2004 or so. This is a little later. We had swum along a little bit and found another open entrance on the side with what looks like a Gatling gun, I think that was, or something that looks a little bit like it. Sat on the side there. So, yeah, I banged my GoPro on it. You can see a porthole on the other side. Pondered going inside it, but it looks a little tight, so I decided to swim along a little bit. But like I say, very comfortable in my suit, all of this. It was absolutely great. I was not cold. Again, wearing that lava core that I described underneath it, which I picked because it's quite close fitting. So it fit me very snugly. It's very elastic, so it's very body hugging, if you will. Light amounts of sort of semi-insulation, sort of fluffy on the inside, so it's very comfortable on the skin. This is the one of the wings. This is the front of the right wing. You'll see in a minute where the engines would have been at one point. So come along across the front of the wing. There's some undercarriage under there somewhere that I was trying to find. So I think we might have hit maximum depth sort of around this point, actually. The aircraft is sat on mud in the bottom of the lake. Anyway, as well as the lava core underneath the suit I was wearing today, my new one, this new waterproof brand suit I was just trying out today. I also had a one-piece rash guard underneath that, just for an extra little bit of layer of warmth, because it was, like I say, it's a cold day. It's 48 when we got there. That's where one of the engines would have been. You can see what was left of the connections in there. So, yeah, I think there were two engines. So we'll see in a little bit another one. Notice me checking my computer there. One of the problems I had with I have a Swanto D5. And I wore it on the inside of my wrist because I have my flashlight on the top of my wrist, which is the flashlight I have, the one you see I'm using right here, is a Big Blue VL4200P, a video flashlight, 4200 lumens. So my buddy was asking me about that. You can see how much brighter it is than the flashlight he was holding. So very, very bright for lighting up. Particularly for videography. That's my intended purpose with it. I like this flashlight a lot. Lasts about an hour or so. It's great for underwater videos. My GoPro like this one, but it takes 8 hours to charge the battery. So when I'm doing multiple dives in a day, I'll exhaust the battery, and so I needed at least one spare battery. In fact, in order to get a day of diving on this, because I use this flashlight even when it's broad daylight. You can see there one of the problems I was having with my computer, the thick gloves that I wore, couldn't, 5mm waterproof brand wetsuit gloves I was wearing. The buttons on the right side of my dive computer, I kept inadvertently pushing those, which meant it displayed different information to the one I was wanted it to show. I wanted to show how much air I had left, but it would often just cycle through. It has a cycle of various things it will display, and pushing the right button on the computer will jump between those, which is actually not really what I wanted it to do. So where the thick glove tended to interfere a little bit with that. I hoped to wear it over the top of my suit, sort of where I normally wear a wristwatch, but with this dry suit I actually could not get that small computer strap, could not get that, it round my wrist, so it was too bulky in this dry suit. You can see, yep, there we go, 57 degrees Fahrenheit, as if we needed any further confirmation. So yeah, very, very cold. There's me messing with the settings again, because picking something, getting it back to the air setting. Yeah. So there's the back of the wing. We've been around the edge of the wing now at this point, and we're just swimming along the back of it, heading back towards the fuselage. So yes, I was hoping to... here is actually a hole in the fuselage. We've got back to the fuselage right now. There's a hole in the top of the fuselage, which we can go into, which I chose to explore. Very, very comfortable climbing around in my suit. It was a very nice feeling, actually. I felt very cozy in my dry suit. It was not bulky. Felt very comfortable squeezing around in the thing, climbing about in it. It was less bulky than my 5mm wetsuit, also by waterproof. But of course more bulky than what I normally wear in the summer, which is 34 feet, 17 minutes into the dive, which is what I normally wear in the summer, which is actually that lava core onesie that I mentioned, that I'm actually wearing underneath this dry suit. That's normally all that I wear in the summer. It's sort of 80 degrees, up to 85 degrees. I'll wear that onesie to swim in. Any warmer than that, and I'll wear just my rash guard, which it has been. I've dived at 90 degrees in one of the lakes, Blue Lagoon, here in Texas, for the summer once. That was a warm dive. But ordinarily, 80s are what we expect here in the summer in Texas. For that, like I said, my onesie lava core is great for that. Handy dandy piece of rope tied across the top of the fuselage of the aircraft right here. It's a little easier to pull my way across the top. It was pretty dark down there. My buddy had mentioned when we were planning the dive that he wasn't very keen on going inside too much. Looking a little bit, but didn't really want to do too much exploring, so we just swam along to carry on. Just me checking on my buddy right there. And we were towards the rear of the aircraft at this point, closing in on the tail section of it. And one of my favorite ways to... I've done this lake a number of times, this particular aircraft. I think it's my maybe third or fourth time doing it. There's the beginning of the tail section, the vertical fin of the tail there on the left, and I still don't know what that hole is, some kind of window into the fuselage. Don't really know, but source made me curious. Not sure why that is. In any event, one of my favorite ways to end this dive is to circle the tail fin, because it's 24 feet, much more shallow right here. So and then circle up, because it gets very close to the surface, the tip of the tail there. So it's a good way to end the dive, and that is the way we ended this dive. So you'll see that towards the end of this dive. So right fin on the right there, vertical fin on the left. Looks like it's been cut, the fin on the left. To me, I don't know much about the sinking of this particular aircraft, or how long it's been there really, but did notice it looks like the fin had been... rear of the aircraft right there visible. And I recalled from previous visits to this wreck that the underside right here, there was a ramp, perhaps a loading ramp back in the day, where you could load things into the hold of this aircraft. But that loading ramp is down on this aircraft, so you can enter the hold area of the aircraft from the back right here. And I was heading in that direction underneath the aircraft right here, so you can see some chains that are perhaps holding it in place, unsure, but in any event, that's above me is the superstructure of the aircraft. I'm heading towards the hold of the aircraft. I was just having a look around here, and I noticed my buddy wasn't following me. There he is. He wasn't comfortable, I learned afterwards, heading into the aircraft, so he hung back and waited for me. So I swam back to him at this point. Didn't go any further. Checked on him. He was fine, but he couldn't see very well. His mask was fogging up, so he wasn't comfortable enough to join me inside the aircraft there. So we continued on. Checked on our air. I think at this point he had around 1,000 psi. Yes, I asked him how much air he had left. He started off with 3,000. He was at around 1,000 at this point, he was telling me. I checked mine. I was there we go, you can't see it, but I was well under 1,000. I was something like 800, I think, at this point. So started to close in on the end of the dive. Again, super comfortable. I felt really great, actually, at this point. I was really enjoying this dive. This is one of the most fun dives in a while, because I felt so great. I was still super warm, even though the water was really cold, wearing just the dry suit membrane. I had pretty much figured out my buoyancy. It's been a while since I've been in a dry suit, many years. I've been in wetsuit diving here in the Texas area and the Gulf Coast and the Bahamas and such like, Aruba and various other warm places like that, and 80-degree temperatures in wetsuits for a number of years. So it's, and I've just avoided diving in the cold at all in the winter. I just wait till it warms up. But as you can see, didn't want to wait this particular year because it's just too much fun. So that's why I decided to get back into dry suit diving, so I could do this again while it was still cold. Didn't have to wait for it to warm up. There's the tail section coming back up there, and like I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite ways, there you can see that tail look like it's been chopped in half to you, and then see that thing on the left, looks like that's holding two sections of the tail together to me, right there. I think it was refixed. Pretty sure it wasn't flying like that, but I imagine, don't know, I'm guessing that it was put together perhaps for chopped up for transport perhaps, and then reassembled before being dropped into lake. Just a guess, not sure, but in any event, I've noticed that before. In any event, one of the best ways I like to end dives on this one, there we go, is to just circle around on the fin here, just and then get our safety stop in. We'll get up to 20 feet, between 10 and 20 feet, do a safety stop for sort of 3 minutes or so, and just do that slowly circling this fin here. In the summer, there's usually some fish swimming around here, although I've noticed on these winter dives, I'm not sure where the fish are, but they haven't been hovering around the fin right here. And so that's what we did on this dive. We circled on. Oh, yeah, I hit 700 psi, so my computer's warning me about that. That's the reserve. Here, a selfie shot. Me looking very comfortable in my suit. I was feeling really great. I could have used a little more air, I think, in the suit. I was very hesitant to put too much in it. Wasn't comfortable on how my buoyancy was. Wasn't sure because I've never dived with this this setup before. My BC is a lightweight one. I put as much weight as it would hold in it. I didn't go for a separate weight belt. I don't think I could get one underneath this BC, so 26 pounds had to be enough. Otherwise I'd have to get some sort of separate weight belt. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was trying to avoid doing that, and I didn't need it either. I was just fine with maxing out the weight on my BC, which is a stiletto, by the way, is the model of this one, and so which I like because it's as least BC as possible. So, but yeah, you can see it fit me very well. Yeah, I was in a good mood. That's why I was doing the little okay to the camera there, because I was having a great time, super comfy. Got my buoyancy dialed in at this point, but I was very, very comfortable. You can see how well the suit fits me. I perhaps could have used a little more air in the suit, I think, just to make it even more comfy. That might have helped it. I wasn't, squished by it or anything, but a few more puffs, I think, would have been good. Probably should have had those, but nonetheless, I was great. I was in a really good mood. Coming back to the surface, the sun was out, even though again, chilly February day. But that's the very top of the rear fin. We're only about 10 feet at this point, and working our way towards the top. Often get fish swimming around at this point. Didn't see any on this dive, but yeah, and we're up. And there's me climbing out of the water. You can see I was super comfy. It was heavy. I had a lot more weight than I was used to, but I was bone dry when I took off the suit. I was absolutely bone dry and warm. Nearly fell in at that point, but yeah, super warm, super comfy, and an absolutely great dive. Absolutely great. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I welcome comments and feedback. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time.